Hey guys, welcome back to CLOCKWISE Crypto. Hope you guys are moving forward in everything that you do. Diving right into it, taking a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin experiencing a bit of trouble, but seems like they recovered. Let's take a look here at this article. Hacker exploits Dogecoin flaw, causing 69% of nodes to crash. Huge. Taking a look here, new data blockchain explorer blockchain reveals that a hacker took advantage of an exploit in Dogecoin's blockchain, causing a majority of its nodes to crash. Earlier this week, Dogecoin monitoring platform noticed that a number of Dogecoin nodes dipped from 647 to 205, decreasing about 69%, which is huge. They're saying here, our monitoring made us aware that the vulnerability appears to have been exploited. Almost 69% of the Dogecoin network has crashed. Blockchain shows the number of public nodes. Before it was 647, and here he's saying, however, according to Blockchain, some of Doge nodes have since recovered, as there are currently 331 active nodes around the world at this time. Big. So here he's saying, here in this snippet, it's saying here, I used a publicly disclosed vulnerability to take down 69% of Dogecoin network from an old ThinkPad in rural El Salvador. Pretty much saying this was child's play, right? He's saying the only nodes that weren't on the latest version were affected, which was the majority of the network, including the centralized exchanges and most other custodians. Hence why most Doge users never notice. Not that many understand self-custody. So the news of the exploit had little impact on Doge's price, and the assets trading at 41 cents at the time of the writing. So we can see here the charts here too, not much of an impact at all, which is surprising because when we see other networks deal with this, usually it's a big deal. Usually it's a huge deal. And here doesn't really seem to be any impact whatsoever, because even looking here, we went from 47 to 40, maybe at the low 36, but still within range. Now it's recovering. So no one really has real concern, but I do think this is one of those things similar to Solana where it will probably do well from a price standpoint, but from a global adoption standpoint, in the sense of countries building their financial stack on top of Dogecoin, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen through projects that have that scientific backing, peer reviewed, took their time, did the work, survive attacks, and continue to thrive. So huge news for Dogecoin, but little impact with price. We'll see how it goes the rest of the week. So next article here, a veteran in the space, Roger Ver. Haven't heard Roger Ver's name in a long time, but he's here now, and we'll see what's going on. Here he's saying that the U.S. government tried to subvert Bitcoin as early as 2021, and then giving it mass censorship campaign, which we saw that, like we've seen that before, and we've seen mass censorship campaigns not just with crypto but with certain ideologies and certain beliefs. He's saying here the U.S. government tried to subvert Bitcoin as early as 2011 with mass censorship campaign. Pretty much when you go and try to talk about Bitcoin online, or someone talked about it in the investment worlds on TV, just a ton of censorship. Let's see what he's saying. So Bitcoin Cash pioneer, early crypto adopter Roger Ver claims the U.S. government was attempting to subvert Bitcoin dating all the way back to 2011. Ver says in a new interview with Tucker Carlson that BitcoinTalk.org, an early BTC forum, was flooded with bots the same week Bitcoin started to get worldwide media attention for the first time. He's saying here, somebody out there literally made the forum unusable as early as 2011. And around that same time, we already know that CIA was interested in Bitcoin because they were asking different Bitcoin developers, hey, can you explain Bitcoin to us? So way back then, the vast majority of the world hadn't even heard of Bitcoin yet. The CIA was looking into it, and somebody was actively preventing it from spreading as quickly as it otherwise could by shutting down the forum, effectively when so many new people were coming to Bitcoin to learn about it for the first time. So Ver, as we know, very early Bitcoin investor, saying here that he's claiming that the propaganda possibly from the U.S. intelligence agencies was spread to trick people into believing it was important to keep Bitcoin block sizes small. Ver was a vocal big blocker in the Bitcoin block size war, who wanted to increase Bitcoin block sizes to enable cheaper, fast transactions. Small blockers like Blockstream chief executive Adam Back argued that Bitcoin's original 1 MB size blocks kept the network decentralized. Ver was arrested in Spain in late April at the direction of the U.S. Department of Justice, faces multiple charges, including mail fraud, tax evasion, filing false tax returns. So despite renouncing his U.S. citizenship in 2014 after obtaining citizenship in St. Kitts and Nevis, authorities say Ver shouldn't have filed tax returns that reported capital gains from the sale of his worldwide assets, including his Bitcoin, and reported the fair market value of his assets. So a lot going on with Roger Ver. Huge article. But the biggest point is not that he's facing charges in the U.S. The biggest point is that the claim that there was censorship around essentially people like me and you getting a hold of Bitcoin, getting a hold of this shift in potentially a massive wealth shift. Not potentially, it is a massive wealth shift in the world. And as early as 2011, right? So we've been through all this time, right? I got in crypto in 2017. So 6 years before I got in, governments were taking a look at this and trying to learn it, right? So it makes me think that this battle with the SEC and, you know, certain countries trying to ban crypto, it's all smoke and mirrors for them to accumulate more. That's what I'm taking from this article here. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all to keep you in your place. It's all to keep you from obtaining that freedom. Because once you have that freedom, it's hard to control. It's hard. So definitely shout out to Roger Ver for this article. And not sure what's going on with him from a legal standpoint, but he is an early investor in Bitcoin for sure, and definitely was a pioneer, especially when I first got in. Despite him going with Bitcoin Cash, just continuing to support Bitcoin as a whole, and ultimately was a huge part of moving crypto forward. No matter if people want to give him the credit or not, Roger Ver is definitely one of those top 10 pioneers that are helping and vocalizing and helping people move forward with crypto, with Bitcoin. So next article here, Bitwise predicts, right? This article here shocked me a little bit, just because from what I think, I don't think it's high enough. It's one of those scenarios where I saw this article here right before we started the show, and I just don't think the number's high enough. So Bitwise predicts Bitcoin to 200,000, which I'm cool with. Like, that's fine. But saying Ethereum to 7,000, Solana to 750 by 2025, that does not seem high enough. Doesn't seem high enough for the altcoins. I think the altcoins are being very much undervalued, extremely, because all the focus is on Bitcoin right now. All the focus is on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin going to 1 million, Bitcoin going to 13 million a coin eventually. Like, all the focus is there. I don't think the focus is enough on the altcoins that essentially can help you get more Bitcoin. So let's say this number's right with 200,000. Bitcoin can just double from its current price. It doubles, right? Ethereum, even, you know, at this current Ethereum or plays like Cardano, right? Potentially can 10x, 20x, right? Maybe not 20x for Cardano, but you get my point. The gains are far greater. The potential gains are far greater with altcoins, essentially to help you get more Bitcoin, right? So let's take a look here. Bitwise, what's Bitwise saying? So leading asset manager Bitwise provides its cryptocurrency outlook for the next year, including price predictions for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. So currently Bitwise is a $10 billion asset manager, and as the Bitcoin ETF issuer has dropped its forecast for the upcoming year. I think they're being conservative, which is fine, but I just don't think everyone should. We've been through and I'm basing this all off of the bull runs we've been through before without any government support. This was all on the strength. This is all from the mud. The other bull markets we've been through have been clearly from the mud. Like, we didn't have any support, none. So that makes me believe that, okay, Ethereum went from $100 to about $4,000, maybe almost $5,000 with zero support. So why would I think Ethereum could just go to $7,000 from right now being at $4,000? It just doesn't. The numbers don't really make sense with the amount of adoption, support, ETFs, money flowing in, institutional money came in. It just doesn't seem right. The numbers don't make sense to me. So here he's saying Bitcoin will surge 200,000 before the end of next year. The asset manager hinged speculation on a sustenance of inflows from Bitcoin ETFs. Great. And here why Bitwise also noted that Bitcoin will surpass 200,000 price mark and surge to 500,000 if the United States created a strategic reserve asset. Okay, so now he's going up to 500. Great. So the asset manager started 7,000 price valuation for Ethereum. Speculated Ethereum and Solana 7,000 and 750. I just think that's low, guys. I think that's low. Remember, those two assets have ETFs as well. Ethereum has an ETF. I believe Solana has an ETF. For sure, Ethereum has an ETF. So just remember that. I think the flows are not just stopping at Bitcoin. So meanwhile, Bitwise expects U.S. Bitcoin ETFs to continue their blossoming performance next year. After trading for just 1 year, the funds have achieved notable milestones, including surpassing founders Satoshi Nakamoto to become the largest Bitcoin holder. Crazy. The asset manager speculated that Bitcoin investment products will gain more traction in 2025 as the first year of an ETF launch is historically the slowest. It also asserted that the wirehouses are coming. The illustrious wealth managers have not fully adopted Bitcoin. So those are the bullish predictions that we're seeing here from Bitwise. I think Bitwise is being a bit conservative because if we look even at the month here, we have H-bar 389% for the month. We have XRP for the month up 243%. XLM up 226% for the month. This is month. Where else can you go and make gains like this? And these are just altcoins. We're not even talking about Bitcoin. Okay. And the reason why I think it's low, because if we look at Bitcoin's up 13.9% for the month, which is great. That's great, because where else can you go and get that? But these altcoins are killing it. So for me to think that Ethereum's only going to $7,000, I think that's too low. And really what's going to happen is everyone's going to sleep on Ethereum, right? And this is why I've been talking about it a little bit more than we usually do, because I usually don't talk about Ethereum this much. But from a price action standpoint, investment standpoint, I believe it's something to highlight. What's going to happen is Ethereum's going to keep doing its thing, consistently peaking up, right? Typically what happens is people start FOMOing into Ethereum once it's too late. The same reason why people are buying XRP now. Like, I have friends that are buying XRP now, right? And it's one of those things where it's not too late, but it's like you should have got a little bit earlier, buddy. And we see it for the month. Ethereum's up 20%, right? Up 20% for the month. And I just think it's not being talked about enough. And it's going to be talked about when it's too late. That's when it's going to be talked about. It's going to be too late. And there's going to be a rush of people buying Ethereum at a higher price. And it's going to push it up a little bit more. And that's going to be the way you can accumulate your Bitcoin. Ethereum's a way to accumulate Bitcoin, in my opinion. So I think Ethereum's being missed. I think Ethereum's going to be that sleeper. Everyone's asking, what's the next sleeper, right? What's the next project? Because we talked about Gala. Gala's performed well. We talked about H-bar. We talked about XRP. We talked about Floki. All these altcoins that have done well. But I think Ethereum is it. I think Ethereum is going to be that play that most people are going to miss until it's too late. So guys, just definitely wanted to highlight that, guys, to give you some value. Hope you guys got some value out of this video. Keep moving forward in everything that you do. We'll see you soon.